and we had our quarterback made a couple of run checks for us, and we had a bad play called, and he changed it and got us in a better play. That happened a couple of times. So there's a lot that goes into running the football that we did take a step forward last week.
On Saturday, he got more carries than anybody else, and in the first couple games, everybody kind of had the same amount of carries. Is that sort of a feel thing when you have a guy that seems hot and seems to be running well, that gets more carries?
Well, it is, and it's just a part of us trying to get ourselves in position to go into conference play, understanding who is a horse and who's going to carry it over and over. There was one rep that was 3rd down and 1 late in the 3rd quarter, and the play was blocked, but they had an unblocked linebacker standing in the hole, and Darren just went after him and powered over him to get the 1st down. So we learned a lot about Darren going into this game this weekend.
In the quarterback situation, do you plan on playing both?
No.
Every game going forward or not?
No. These games count. We took the job to go after the Conference USA Championship. So there'll be one quarterback playing this weekend.
Who will that be?
I'm not going to say into the game.
Do you know right now?
No, we got a lot of practice to do. I have an idea, but we got a lot of practice to do, but I won't say into the game.
Do you do things differently with each quarterback? I know each have their own strengths, but are you different offensively with, say, Austin than you are with JP or Austin?
Nah, because they both are, both run the ball just okay, well enough to go get 1st downs. Most of the time when you have to do different things, it's when one of your quarterbacks is a passer, the other quarterback is a runner. Then you have to change your offense if the other one's in. But these two guys are, about the same. They both throw it. They both run enough to hurt the defense. So it's pretty much the same package when they're in.
What did you learn about Austin on Saturday? I know that's the most extended amount he played. What did you learn about him on Saturday?
Well, I just learned that he did understand what was going on out there. He did know the coverages. He was able to come to the sideline and communicate with me really well. And that he threw the ball really efficient. Ball was flying out of his hand. It was accurate. It gave our guys a chance to get yards after the catch. So for a young kid, freshman that hadn't been out there much, I thought he did a pretty good job.
What was it about the way, Garrett, that he communicated with you when he came to the sideline that stood out to you and impressed you?
Well, I would say, what were you thinking? And he would say, well, it was cover 2, and, number 12 was outside the hash, and number 6 was inside, and I was thinking this. And that's how you like to communicate with a quarterback.
He was very specific, in other words, about
Right.
what he was telling you.
Right. He knew what was going on out there.
Coach, Tulsa's a team that doesn't have a problem scoring, it seems like, so far this year. They do it running the football. How much has it been playing South Carolina a help to you, South Carolina and Ohio State, being able to stop a running quarterback, and before that, Marcus Lattimore going into a team like Tulsa?
Well, it's always good. When you can play against teams like that are dynamic football teams that you have to test yourself emotionally, physically. You have to go all in to even have a chance against those two teams. So that's where it's good for us. Our scheme-wise, I think that our defensive coaches, like you said, had an opportunity to game plan against, a big physical tailback, and the following week to game plan against, a running quarterback. So I think it could have gave us a step ahead in regards to our schemes.
Set you up, lead you into conference play to make you feel a little better having that tough non-conference?
Sorry, say it again?
Having a tough non-conference game, so you feel a little better going into the conference play?
I feel good about going into conference play. Like I said, I think I know our team. I know who we are now. I know who the players are. I know who's going to compete consistently. I know the guys that run certain routes well. Some guys don't run these routes well. I know which runners run certain plays really well. We know which one of our defensive guys pressure certain ways the right way. We know which corners play man the best, which safeties play man the best. So we know a lot about our football team now.
What are you telling your team about Tulsa?
That they're very talented, committed program. They got a lot of good players, really good coach. They're leading the league in rushing, and they're second in the league in rush defense. So to win football games, you got to be able to run the ball and stop the run, and they're at the top of our conference right now in both categories. So we're going to have a maximum effort.
Is the team ready for the first win? You guys anxious?
I am. Yeah, I need to win.
With Jackie Williams going out for toward the end of the game the other day, if he's not fully healthy, how much does that take away what you do, special teams and offense?
Well, you know, the way football coaches work, man, you plug another guy in. That's why you coach everybody. And because this is a contact sport, injuries happen in this sport. If one guy can't come, you got to plug another guy in and keep moving forward. So we'll, you know, have to continue to move forward. I know he felt a little better on Sunday. He'll get, you know, a day better today, and hopefully we get him out there on Saturday to get him playing. But if not, we just got to plug another guy in and keep moving forward.
Garrick?
Speaking of that, on that line, it seemed like the offensive line on Saturday had some guys go out at times, and yet it seemed like you played well. And you know, with John Hicks not playing, I mean, kind of talk about that, how they sort of kind of persevered through a couple of injuries there.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. Like you said, there were some guys that were in and out. I know Aaron got hurt. He hurt his knee pretty bad. A guy pushed him in the back way after the play was over, and he tripped over everybody and hurt his knee pretty bad. But then he saw another one of our guys come out, so he said, I have to go back in and play. And he went back in and finished the game. Just, I think it's another example of our kids having a lot of pride in what's going on right now.
Garrick, you had another successful onside kick to start the second half against Ohio State. Not the first time you've done that this year. Is that going to be a hallmark of your teams, or is that something that, depending on the opponent, and it's something you're more likely to do if you're playing a team that has more athletes than you and has more depth and experience?
Well, I don't know that we've played a team that I would say has more athletes than we do. We got a lot of depth also. We got some guys that are, you know, so the decision definitely wasn't that this team has more athletes or more depth than we do. We just felt like through game planning that they had a certain separation and technique. We have a kicker that has the ability to put the ball where we want it. And, you know, it wasn't a trick. It was well planned out. It was well thought out. You guys probably didn't realize that J.J. Nelson has checked in as a left kickoff coverage guy so that he's the fastest guy on our team. He could run down there and make it. Ty told me that he wanted to kick the ball in that direction coming out after halftime so that he can put it towards our sideline. We didn't want to kick the other way because he felt like giving us the best chance would have been kicking it towards our locker room. So it was well thought out. It wasn't a gadget or a trick. It's schemed up. It's practiced. And to answer your question about is that, you know, a way we're going to play, we are going to play to win. And we're not going to save our stuff. If we have things in our pocket, we're going to use our stuff to try to win every game we play.
Not much of a drop-off from the defense that you saw the last 2 weeks compared to the one you're going to see this week. How does Tulsa compare to Ohio State and South Carolina?
The scheme is about the same as South Carolina and Ohio State's base defense. And then on third down, they pressure from everywhere. I think they got 19 sacks. There's 5 players on their team that have multiple sacks. And a lot of them are coming from their linebackers, which is telling you that they pressure a lot. And on third downs, it's an all-out blitz. You know, they're going to pressure from all over the place. So it's about the same in regards to scheme.
Coach Blankenship, when did you actually first meet him, and what has he meant for you, in your coaching?
I think I met Coach B when I was probably 5th, 6th grade, something like that. My dad and Coach Blankenship were really good friends. You know, competing against each other. He was the head coach at Union. You know, we were at our school. So I think I met him when I was in the 5th or 6th grade. We've been, you know, he's a mentor of mine for sure.
Have you used him, you know, through the phone, phone calls and stuff during your coaching life to sort of ask him questions and things like that?
Well, I think it's went both ways because I was a college coach and Coach B was still in high school. And then when he decided that he wanted to be a college coach and he pretty much gave up his job at Union to try to get into college, that, you know, I would see him around and he would ask me questions about how to get in college and, you know, how to get going in college. So I think that it went both ways. He's definitely a mentor for me now because he's known me since I was a kid. And so I got a lot of respect for Coach Blankenship for sure.
Coach, how exciting is it to be able to come back on campus? It's been so long since the first game. Obviously, that didn't go as well as you planned it. But to be able to come back and start conference play in Birmingham, how important is that with a clean slate in conference to be able to start?
Well, we are really excited to get back in our home field in front of our home crowd. and run back out there on Legion Field and play a different ball game than we played the last time in front of our crowd. We thought that they did a good job coming out supporting us the last game. There was a lot of rain. A lot of our fans stayed there. And we did not produce what we wanted to produce for them. So we're really looking forward to running back out on that field in our home field in front of our home crowd.
UAB has never beaten Tulsa in football. I mean, how do you excited to be able to put a notch in that series?
Well, I didn't know that, but I think when you're a young program like we are, there's a lot of things that we've never done. So I don't really spend much time thinking about the things we've never done. We're just concentrating on putting a good game plan together today, getting our kids freshened up in the training room. They'll lift today, get their bodies back on track. We'll have a really tough practice tomorrow, Tuesday, workday practice, go into Wednesday and Thursday, freshen up, and get ourselves prepared to go after a conference game on Saturday.